Good morning again, everybody. Welcome to the Matric 11. It's been amazing to wake up so early in the morning and get some work done. And you can always go back to check the lessons. They have been amazing. Please don't forget to like, share, leave us a comment. Our social page is also available for you to write on the right side or in the comment chat box. It helps us on the social platform. Like, share, comment. 17 already. You should be liking. That's why you came back. Okay, awesome. So let's get on with work as quickly as we can. Okay, so this morning we're looking at trigs. Remember all your trig formulas. We spoke about this in our first lesson. We spoke about all of this trig. Oh, 1 sec. Something I need to make sure. So we spoke about all of these formulas. Please make sure you know them, know the conditions, the one we said not dots. All right. This was one of the notes I had. I had this class some time ago, and it had to do with general solutions. On this page, I've got some little rules that I need you to learn when it comes to general solutions. Number one, on the right-hand side, I hope it will be very visible. Everyone, never divide to solve for angles, except your division will give you sine pages. But let's see. Rule number one, please don't divide when you are doing general solutions. Always simplify, okay? And to simplify, use your trinomials, factorize, laws of exponent, use identities, use your co-ratios, everything that helps you to read and simplify. Those are the things that we will then do. Very, very important. Calculating angles, I'm going to show you and re-explain what I mean there. All right. For sine and cos theta, we use K360 because that's the period. All right. That's the period. And for tan, 180. I would emphasize this on a fresh page as we go on. All right, quickly, I have about 2 or 3 general solutions to solve this morning. And while solving this, please listen to the notes I will be giving on the sides. All right, I'll be giving some notes on the side. Cos 2x minus 5 cos x minus 2 equals to 0. I want us to get our 6 marks. Guys, make sure the right-hand side is always a 0 before you start. Now, what's easy for me here would be to change cos 2x. So I've got cos 2x minus 5 cos x minus 2 equals to 0. Let's change cos 2x into a simpler identity that has a cos so that we maintain cosine throughout. That's one of the notes I gave. That's one of the aim. Try to leave it as a single trig ratio if possible. Sometimes, yes, you have to mix both sine and cos, but if possible, work with one trig ratio. In this case, I could work with 2 cos squared x minus 1 minus 5 cos x minus 2 equals to 0. All right, 2 cos squared x minus 5 cos x. That is now a trinomial. We need to learn to see a trinomial. I'm going to quickly give you some equations that you should watch and take note of. All right, guys, you should be able to solve this as a trinomial. If you want to see it better, let k be equal to cos squared x. If you want to do that, okay, not compulsory, but some people just see it better like that. Minus 3 equals to 0. We need to be able to factorize. And guys, please, if you cannot, you should be able to open two brackets and factorize. There are so many tricks out there. For me, this is what I like. I'm going to do this outside. For those I've been teaching, know, multiply this by this to give me what? Negative k squared. I'll slow down now. Minus 5k minus 6. With the negative 3. Now, what do? I am going to factorize k squared. We know, guys, do you see I'm doing this outside the page? All right. This is now easy to factorize. We have what? 6, and I want 5 as sum. It's either 6 and 1 or 2 and 3. But I want a negative 6, so I need to have, right, and that will be 6 and 1. 1 minus 6. Yeah, that's it. Okay, 1 minus 6. I am not done. Remember, I had multiplied with 2 in the first step. I'm going to come back and divide by 2. The aim is to have a whole number on the side. But if I have k plus 1 over 2, now I don't want to have a fraction. You can try this in so many other questions. You will see how simple it is. I don't want to have a 1 over 2 here. I'm going to add 2k plus 1. That's my factorization. Please, let's learn to factorize whichever method you can use. That is one method, all right? So I could then say 2k plus 1, k minus 3 equals to 0. So 2k plus 1 equals to 0, or k minus 3. K will be equal to what? Negative 1 over 2. K equals to 3. And what is your k? Cos x equals to negative half, or cos x equals to 3. By the way, you are also allowed, should you struggle in the exam with factorization, okay, I'm going to take this off, guys, find and rewrite that, but I need my space. Here, a learner can jump straight to saying cos x equals to minus b minus 5, plus or minus. You are allowed to do that as long as you, what is b? Minus 5 squared minus 4. What's our a? 2, and our c, negative 3 over 2 multiplied by 2. Quadratic. I promise you, use your calculators at negative half, or cos x equals to 3. Now, from here, what do I do? What do I do from here? We have different ways, but I'm going to show you what I do. Let's take cos x equals to negative half. Here, let me just quickly deal with this. There's no solution. All right. Why? Because the maximum value of cos x is 1, and the minimum value of cos x is negative 1. Want to get an angle there, you will not get an answer. How to prove that with your calculator. But let's quickly work with cos x equals to negative half. This is where learners also lose marks. So, cos x, right? On the side, let's quickly do this. That all students take coffee. Is that okay? Here, we talk about reference angle. Here, 180 minus the ref. 180 plus the ref angle, 60 minus. Awesome. So guys, the negative here tells me which quadrants to go. When I see a negative for cos, I know that cos is negative in quadrant 2. That's what the negative tells me. Now I would be looking for my reference angle, and that will be equal to the arc cos. You see, I am not putting the negative anymore. That in your calculator, you should get 60. All right, 60 degrees. Now I know I am working in quadrant number 2. What are we solving for? We're solving for x. What is the formula in quadrant number 2? All right, Q1, Q2. What is the formula? It is 180 minus the reference angle. What's my reference? 6 plus k what? 360. Let's solve. X equals to 120 degrees, a 360 degrees. K is an element of integers. Done. We move to Q3. Why Q3? Because cos is. We are solving for x again. X is equal to 180 plus 60 plus k. I don't like combining. I want to just do a being an element of integers. I want to show you the other one. Cos x equals to 3. Check. What is your reference angle? Right? You would see that this would give you an error. If you at graphs, I'll give you that list again because they are connected. Our solution is basically solving. Check shift cos of 3. It must give error because it does not as past the maximum value of cos. All right, that's done. Let's go for another one. I have different types, 3 different types here that I'm going to show you. All right, look at this one. Cos x minus 30. Okay, cos x. I just want to prepare you in. Now, guys, there is a problem here. Please take note, this 2 is a problem. I am going to do another one without the 2 and show you what you need to do. But once I have a 2 here and I don't have it here, it is a problem. I have to expand that. But compound angle formula. So cos x cos 30 plus sine x sine 30 equals to 2 sine x. Right. What is cos 30? Cos 30, you must know that or use your calculator quickly, is root x, right? Plus sine 30 is a half. Half sine x equals to what? Can bring that over quickly. Like I said, let's make sure it's equal to 0 on the right-hand side. Please use your calculators for your special angles. This is your final exam. You don't want to make mistakes. Right. Now, guys, you see there's a denominator of 2 there. Let's try to get rid of it by multiplying everything by 2, just to make life easy for us. Root 3 plus, I am multiplying by 2. Life a bit easy for me. Like terms there. Root 3 x minus 3 sine x equals to 0. I have now gotten to a stage where there is nothing common. Guys, there is nothing common here. There is no way to factorize, and I have a cos and a sine. We can see they are not squared identities, right? They are just single identities. I need to find a way to get 10 now. I'm going to move whichever one over to the other side. Okay, root 3 cos x will therefore be equal to 3 sine x. My rule says never divide except you are going to get sine theta over cos theta. That here already. Let's divide both sides by cos theta. what are you going to have? Root 3 equals x over, check that. Check that. I am already having sine x over cos x. Hi, Regan. Good morning. And what is sine x over cos x? That is 10. Guys, I don't want to jump steps because we are at different levels. Root 10 x. Oh, can I then divide both sides by 3? And x is what? Root 3. Guys, now again, this one here is a positive. 10 is 0, all right? In which I working in? It is quadrant 1 because they are all positive, or quadrant number 3. Take note of this. I want you to listen. When you are working with 10, just do only one quadrant. Okay, I'll give you that note. I'll give you that note. Reference angle would be equal to what? Arc10 of root 3. Actually a special angle. Okay, let's check. That should actually give you 6. Calculator, please. It's an exam. Every mistake will be paid for. So please don't just use a calculator. Get your answer. You want to be 30. All right, not 60. Want to be too sure of your answer. So it's 30 degrees there. Now, but I said it's that's 1 and 3. Don't even. What am I solving for? X. Remember, in the first quadrant, it is plus K 180 this time around. Guys, you can always test. Let me show you how to. Right. I'm going to get my calculator. I'm saying my X is 30. Let's check on the left-hand side. That there? What's my answer? 1. Oh, sweet. Let's check right-hand side. 2, 9, my X is 30. But done. 6 marks in the bag again. All right. Please get this marks. Test your solutions before you move. Test the other one. Let's quickly test this one. We got what? X has 120. I want to show. Run away to the next question. Let's do quality. Got 120. Okay, let's test. Times 120 would give us 240. 5 cos. We got X as 120. Test, guys. Check. It gives me a 0. We that you don't have a paper filled with errors. Okay. I'm going to do another one, a different type. I just want to do different types of. At this one, cos 4 minus x is equal to. Now, take note of the difference between this. At this one and look at this one. X minus 30. Don't worry about the x minus 30. The x minus 30 is not the problem. The problem is the 2 in front of the sign. But look at this one. There is no 2. Oh, so my A is 1 here. My A is 1. When I have something like this, all right? So I'm saying when you have sine K is equal to cos. Change either the left or the right to sine or cos. We know that sine theta, if I want to change, I must introduce 90 minus theta. Or if I have cos theta and I must introduce, which means I can change both of them. I would love to change the left-hand side to sine. So I'm going to say sine, because I want to change it to sine, right? I need to bring in 90 minus, open a bracket, 54. minus x equals to sine 2x. Now, I have sine on both sides of the equation. That makes sense. Please look at my brackets. With that, bracket is key. That okay? All right. Now, let's simplify. Sine, by expanding the bracket, 90 minus 54, negative, negative, plus x equals to sine 2x. What is 90 minus 54? Please use your calculator there, all right? 36 degrees plus x equals to sine. Now, watch this. This is where the juice of this question now is. Once you get to this point, take this value as your reference what? Angle. Now we are dealing with a positive sign, right? It says sine positive, positive sine 2x. Okay. We are therefore working in quadrant 1 and quadrant number 2. Remember, in quadrant 1, it is just ref. In quadrant 2, it's 180 minus the reference angle. But this has become my reference. So, quadrant number 1, what am I solving for? I'm solving for quadrant 1. It is just simply equals to 2x, the ref angle, plus k what? 360. Now let's solve. I'm going to move that there and bring this here. What would I have? X minus 2x equals to what? Negative 36 plus k what? 360. Minus x equals to minus 36. What do? We divide. X will be equal to 36 minus k 360 because I'm dividing by negative 1. Let's quickly test before we move on because I want to show you something. Let's test this. Let's test. We're not done, but I wanted to test so that you believe in it. Our x is 36. Okay, so cos 54 minus 36. What are we getting on the left? 0,951. All right, 0,951. You remember that value? 9510. Okay, sine 2 times 36. The answer. So it means we are perfectly fine. You check before you move. Don't have an accumulation of error. Now, somebody is thinking, what if I use the other one as my reference angle, which is 36 minus? I'm doing that again. 2x would be equal to what? 36 plus x. Is that fine? Minus, plus what? 360 degrees. I bring x. X is what? 36 degrees. Plus k what? 360, k being an element of integers. Both of them give you the same answer because you could either use the 2x as your reference angle or use the 36 plus x as your reference angle. Whichever one works. Now, that is quadrant 1. What is the next place? Quadrant number 2. Okay, so let's work with quadrant number 2. Just going to have to use a fresh page. Quadrant number 2. We're saying we're solving 36 plus x, right? So we are now in quadrant 2. 36 plus x, we know quadrant 2 is 180 minus your reference angle plus k what? 360. All right, x plus 2x equals to 180 minus 36 plus k 360. What do we have? 3x. What is 180 minus 36? You have a 4. 1. Please use a calculator. All right. Now we divide. 144 divided by 3. What would that give you? And when you are dividing, some of us forget something here. 180 minus 36. 8. Beautiful. So this is 48. But you are also dividing this 120. K being an element of integers. The other way around. if 36 plus x becomes my reference. So I'm sorry, x, which is equal to 180 minus, please bracket 36 plus x. I am now using that as my reference, what? Angle. 2x equals to 1 that, okay, minus x, plus k what? 360. Let's have. I'm going to move that there. 3x equals to what? 140. That I am coming back to exactly the same answer. 48 plus k, 120 degrees, where k is an element of integers. K is 48. Can we test quickly? Please don't be in a hurry to run through. Whatever you do in the paper, make sure it's well done. Cos 56 minus 48, what are we getting? 0,990, all right, 99026. And then sine 2 times 48. 48? 48, okay. Now, where's my calculator? Looks like that again. Sine cos 50, 99452, yeah, 99452, and then sine 2 times 40. 99452. Perfect. 6 marks in the bag, quality marks, and I move to the next. So somebody else will have decided to change the right-hand side. Okay. Let me do that. If I were to change the right-hand side, but I will not finish the question, you will just take that on. Okay. You will take that on. But it decides to change the right-hand side, saying, okay, I want to work with cos. It's not a problem at all. Oops, did I just? Not a problem if you want to change cos. Now, what am I going to have? Cos 54 minus x will be equal to, I bring in cos. This becomes 90 minus 2x. Ready now, this is my reference angle. Working with a positive value, all right, cos always be positive. So it's quadrant 1 and quadrant number 4. In quadrant 1, it is reference 360 minus. Write the first part. You can please finish up and test if you are right. A reference angle. I think let me just walk through. All right, if I bring that there, it becomes positive. So x is, what is 90 minus 54? That would be, come back to the same answer, 360 degrees. 54 minus x will be what? 360 minus, please. Once you have more than one term. So 54 minus x equals to 360. I move the negative 2, I'll have negative 3x. Now I'll have 360 minus 90, which would give me 270. Graphs, done with general solutions. Please keep practicing. I've done the different types that you should see. Minus 90 minus 54. What's the answer? What? 360. Let us write. We are going to get negative 72 minus K120. K is perfectly correct. Let's, guys, I take my time to test. It means quality minus negative 72. Let's check our answer. This answer is giving us negative 0,5877. All right. Take 5877 and sine negative 72. Check. Negative 0.58 answer. Guys, I hope this is good. I am dropping general solution. You can take that as a practice. Look, the examiner is just trying to play with you here. Divide both sides by 2 first. I'm not doing this. I know that once just divide both sides by 2, then change one of the sides either to cos or to sine so that you have the same thing. All right. So please, for general solution, watch out for this. I want you to just take that I'm going to write. Sine squared theta minus 2 sine theta plus cos squared theta. These are trinomials that are not very common. Actually, sine theta minus cos theta also. Right? If I have this is cos squared theta sine theta. Okay, and then you can square root both sides of the equation. Remember to use plus or minus. Guys, I am done. Remember, for sine theta and cos theta, it is plus k what? 360. K 180, where k is an element of integers. All right. The maximum of sine theta and cos theta is 1, and the minimum and for tan theta, it is negative infinity. Right, guys, you can take this, arm yourselves, and keep working, practicing those videos. I want to quickly look at graphs. For me to look at trig graphs, guys, please, you must first know your mother graphs. Quickly, mother graphs. It's always nice. If you know your mother graphs, things actually become quite easy. Mother graphs of sine, mother graph of and a lot easy. Okay, that in 1 minute. Graph sine. Sine 0 is 0. That's what's going to guide you. Maximum is 1 and minimum. Once you remember that this is 0, you add ta. You come back here, pa, and that's your graph. Your graph goes that way. Know the mother graph. You're done. Sine theta. (180). Quickly, you check your calculator. Cos 0 is 1. Oh, that one goes there. This would just keep moving. That would go there. The mother graphs, it helps you quick. Okay, what am I doing now? And for 10, 0, 90, 180, and negative 180. That 0 is actually what? graph must pass. But what is tan 90? That you must know. Let's check something on the calculator. Tan 90, it will give you an error. It means that that is your asymptote. Okay? That is another asymptote. Your graph that is your tan graph. You can check what your tan 180 would be, but that is majorly your tan negative infinity to positive what? Infinity. It is very, very crucial, guys, but I will show you how to then sketch a graph. Now, tan negative 180, you must also know that that is 0. And what is tan 180? That is also 0. Graph then keeps going in that direction all through, okay? And moving on like that. Up to 270 again, where you have the next know your mother graphs and you'll be fine. Quickly, how to sketch a graph. Sketch and discussing that for about 3 minutes and then look at 1 or 2 questions. All right. Sketching a graph. Use your calculator as well to guide yourself. You guys do that at school where you use your table. But what do I need to know? There's something that is us to quickly solve this morning. I have a trig for, let me write my trig for. I get my step on the calculator. X, if my function looks like that, then my step will be 90 over k. Take note of that. I am working with tan kx, then my step will be 90. Right. If I am working with sine n, x plus or minus 45, if the examiner, then your step will be 45. The 3 important things that I will tell you. Sine, cos, tan. If it is x plus or minus 30, x plus or minus 60, step will be 30 degrees. It allows you to get your turning point, allows you to get your intercept, and a perfect shape. Please take note of that. What about periods on the graph? Right. Period, let's do this. For sine theta, cos theta, our general period I am using sine kx or cos kx. But for tan theta, right, period 180 over k. And for tan, the period of a tan graph, you can also graph, is the distance between asymptotes. Interesting. Asymptotes. Distance between asymptotes. Oh, guys, I am going to answer questions now. When I'm using a calculator, let's do it together quickly in case you don't mode, and then you press calculator is mode table, for example, sine, How do I get the x if that's my function? Alpha, that alpha button, and look for x. It's written in red. That's why I'm using the alpha button. That's x. And then you close your bracket. Mode table. Okay, so you have mode, you have the function f of x, and sometimes it will give you g of x as well. If you don't need g of x, just forget about it. Start would be the your limit of your domain. Let me say your small domain or limit on the domain. That, and your stop is the small limit domain. Okay, stop is the big limit. That's what we're actually saying. Example, the examiner says sketch a graph between negative, right, and 270. It means that, and that would be all right. And finally, please don't forget your transformation. X's are deceiving. If it's left, which is against, once it is an X, it's going to deceive you. Okay. Vertical shift is outside the bracket, right? This is your vertical shift plus Q. Okay, let me write this. I. Up is positive and down is negative. Action along the X. What do? You keep X and change Y. Y must be what? Negative. Action along the Y, what do? You keep Y and change. How will an examiner ask you this? If they want you to reflect along the X, I want you to reflect along the Y, what do I do? All right, 15 minutes. Let's try to see if we can get to 2 questions. I hope all good. Guys, just give us some light if you like the session so far. If it has been helpful, just let others know as well. Again, I'm dropping in the chat box our social review link. Just give us something, a 5-star there if you feel we deserve a 5-star as well. Like that. At the end of the lesson, you can and tell us what you think we can do. Hi, Nico from How Lovely. Yes, the sign is just to show you. Bukamusot, yes, it's only from Monday to Friday. All right, let's look at this quickly. 8 marks. So we can afford to get this 8 marks as quickly as possible. The diagram below, excuse me, the graph of f of x equals to cos x plus q, right? Isa, gonna miss you too next year. I'm glad you're up this morning. All right, in the diagram below, the graph of f of x equals to cos x plus q in 5 minutes, very fast. And g of x, take note of the graph g and f are drawn on the same system, -1, -240, and that is your domain already. The graph of x intersect at 0, half, and that. Good. Determine the values of P and Q. My sweet marks here, guys. Now, if you check your G of x, the G of x is the one that has, let's look for P first. Right. P is on G of x is a sine graph. Right? Once you know that, and between 60 and 1, oh, the turning point has shifted, but it has shifted left. Watch this. It's and left is in your head, you're thinking it's negative, but left should be what? Positive. So I'm done. The graph we are given is sine x. So P is 30. 2 marks in the bag. But check, I want to give you another way of getting this answer. If you don't remember your mother graph, look at what I'm going to do. I am going to find a set of coordinates, always best, between 0 and coordinate. Yes, I know that point. What is that point? X is equal to 60, y is equal to 1. I hope you agree. Take it back into the equation. Y equals to sine. What is y? 1. Sine. How do you get rid of the sine? That in grade 10. Arc sine of 1. That's how we find angle. Okay? Put that in a calculator. All right. What would that give you? 90. 60 plus that there. What is P? Positive what? 30. This one automatic. Positive, you get it. If it's negative, you get it. All right. Probably it's you. Okay. I don't know. Probably it's network. Let's try to manage through. It's probably network that is causing the mic to. All right. Check my 30. Now let's go get Q. I see that it's f of x is where my Q lies. Oh, if I know my mother graph again, cos 0 is 0. Check. That's the mother graph. It's supposed to be here, but it has come down by half. So we've brought it down by half, which now becomes negative half. We brought it down by half. Okay, Isham, I'm just trying to, I don't know why the mic is doing like that this morning, but I hope we can manage through. Cos, again, if I know my mother graph, that is where it's supposed to be. But this is where it is. This graph has been shifted downwards. So Q, if it's down, negative half. But if you are not sure, let us find a coordinate on f of x that we know. I know that point. X is 60 and y is 0. Let's try it. This is my g of x. Y is 0 and x is 60. Will this work? It should. Y is equal to cos x plus q. What is my y value? 0. Cos 60 plus q. Right. If I then move the q over, it becomes negative q equals to what? Cos 60. Use your calculator. Cos 60 is half and q is done, which we could have done swiftly if you know your mother graphs. I hope the mic is a bit stable now, guys. I hope you didn't miss anything. I hope you didn't miss anything. I tried to repeat what I did for F on G so that you would not miss anything. Apologies for that. All right. Determine the values of x in the interval given for which f of x is above g of x. Okay. We want f of x to be above g of x. That's quite simple. You know, to make this easy, let's make this one blue, which is f. Okay. We want the blue f of x to be above the black. Where is that? That is right here, between here and here. Where else? I think that's all. At the other point, the black is above the blue. We want the blue to be over the black. So what's my answer? We are dealing with x values, my dear learners. It's between negative 120 and 0. Oh, my answer. Negative 120, it's between. So it's less than x, less than 0. The examiner did not say equal to. They said f of x is less than, not f of x less than or equal to. So we are not looking for equality. We are looking for where it is above. And please, look, guys, I normally write it as we're saying between negative 120. Check my between. Look at my inequality there. And that's why my inequality is turned that way. The last question. Okay, I'm glad. The last question. Describe the transformation that g of x has to undergo to form the graph of h. If h of x is negative cos x. All right, this is very beautiful. What is g of x? Sine x plus 30. I want you to see something. We want to convert sine x plus 30. We want to convert it to negative cos x. All right, let's see something, my beautiful learners. First thing is, I see that my trig ratio is changing. When does my trig ratio change? My trig ratio changes once I see a 90. Wow. So if I want sine to become cos, I must make sure the angle inside is 90. So I am going to say sine x plus 30. I want to get it up to 90. So what should I do? Let's add 60 to it. Why am I adding 60? It now becomes sine x plus 90. We did our first lesson where we're changing this. All right. If you do this, 90 means you should change your trig. And this actually gives you what? Cos x. Oh, so by adding 60, I have already arrived at cos. Do you remember we said use a dummy angle to do your reduction? Okay. Use a dummy angle. If I say sine 1 plus 90, you notice value, okay? It's going to give value. But because it's 90, I am changing. So I have already arrived at cos x. But how do I move to negative cos x? Oh, that is now the negative in front of it. Okay, so how do I move to negative? I'm just going to say negative cos x. Mind you, this is your y. So we are multiplying by y. We are changing the y value. Check. Changing the y value. Follow what I wrote on transformation. You would see. What is my final answer here? Use the. I added 60 to the x. It's a plus. Plus means I have to go where? Not to the right. It's an x, so it has to go left. So it means g of x is that 60 to the left. That's why it's positive. And now we multiply. We are changing the y value. When do you change the y value? When you reflect along and reflected along. 8 beautiful marks. Run quickly, 5 minutes. Let's see. All right. Write down the period of f. Quickly, look at this one. We are given negative 210 f of x. That's why you need to check my notes. They will guide you. 3 over 2x. What is the period? I did give you, and period is 180 over k. My k is actually 3 over calculator. I think this should be 180 times 2 over 120 degrees. That's how you. So, guys, those formulas that I gave you are key. They are very key. Okay. The examiner says the point A, which is Tn2, lies on the graph. Determine the general solution of T. And what do we know? We have our x and we have our y. Our x is T and our y is 2. Okay. X, y is 2. I'm just going to take some 3 minutes from you guys. All right. Quickly, let's solve. 2 equals to minus 2 tan 3 over 2t. Divide both sides by negative 2. What we have? Negative 1 is equal to tan 3 over 2. Right. The negative tells you I am working in is tan negative. Quadrant number 4. What is your reference angle? Don't worry about that. Okay, so in quadrant number 2, I'm sure you still remember 180 minus reference. What am I solving this time? 3 over 2. 180 minus 40 and half 3 over 5 plus k 180. Don't forget. Now, what do you have? 3 135, or we just divide. Let's just divide everything by what? By 3 over 2. Either 135 by 3 over 2. 5 divided by 3. Thus, we have to also divide the 180. 180. K what? 120 k of integer. We are done. Remember what I told you. If it's quadrant, if it's 10, quadrant 2 and 4, you don't need to do the fourth one because you're. Please just give me 5 minutes before you start logging out. Remember, you can also check your answer if you are correct. Let's see. Are we going to be correct? Negative 2, 10, 3 over 2, which is 5. And we said our t. All right. On the grid, okay, guys, and on the grid, draw the graph of f for the interval negative 120 to what? 180, my start and my stop. That will be given to you. I do have my grid. What am I sketching? Guys will do the sketch later. I'm just going to show you how to walk through. We're sketching what? 10, 3x, right? That is what we're sketching. Is it 10, 3 over 2? Negative 2, 10, 3 over 2. The main thing is to get your step. And it's 90 over 2. 3 over 2. Help you better. Even check the examiner knows, but they are hiding it. This is 30. You use 90 straight, you will be having a problem with your graphs. So they know that you should use what? 30. All right. Just quickly go guide you, but you would please sketch. I want to jump to the last question. So I'll say mode, table, negative 2, 10. It's 3 over 2. All right. Excuse me. Guys, everything should be in the bracket, please. Otherwise, we would get wrong answers. And then right, equals to. What is your start? The domain, negative 90. 90. I'm not sure now. Step is now what? 30. Check. I want you to notice, I want to prove something to you. Where am I having errors? Negative 60 give me my first error. Next error. 60 gives me my next error. The other graphs, guys, the other point you can. Negative 60 gives me error. Negative 30 is negative, negative 90 is negative 2. Okay. Negative 60 is error. Negative 30 is 2. Negative 90 is negative 2. That, no, this is positive. Negative 60 was my the next asymptote. Asymptote, please. And my next asymptote was that. Remember, I told you the distance between the exactly what we got. Is that fine? Negative what it was, but guys, you can please sketch the graph and walk through. You just know what your graph should look like now. I am going to jump, just want to answer the last question for you and show you that. 2 minutes. 6. Quickly listen to me. 2 minutes here. At the transformation of f to form the graph of this. Okay. What says 2 marks, but it's quite challenging. Get negative 2 tan 3 over 2x plus 60 from what we have. Okay, let me just quickly write that out on a different page. Our original function is this. X. We want to transform this graph. 7 as well. Please take note. To x plus 60. Now, do you notice that they put this in a bracket? Once this is put in a bracket, it I then need to do. Okay, I am going to come here and shift. Check what I'm going to do. 3 x must be in bracket. I have already shifted horizontally, but I need this to be equal to this. All right? Done just now. I need those two to be equal. All right, do you notice that the -2 can then go? Oh, it therefore means x plus k should be equal to 3 over 2x plus 60. Let's simplify. X plus 3 over 2k. Goes. So 3 over k, 60 times, that should give us 40. Oh, beautiful. Means that, check this. If I go back here, this is what the examiner actually did. Remember, if it's a horizontal shift, it must be in bracket. I promise you, if we simplify this, and 3 over 2x plus, what is 3 times 1 by 2? 60. Do you notice that? So what did the examiner do? F of x was shifted positive, so we know it's to the left by what? Telling us, I'm sorry for taking 7 minutes, but these are very. Thank you so much for joining us, and back and check all of these lessons. You will really. I'll see you again on Monday when we look at it would be number 8 on Monday. God bless you. See you next. Don't forget, give us some likes, give us some reviews. We would appreciate us. Goodbye, everybody. Bye.